Yolan True and welcome to another exciting day in our galaxy. And it's always exciting times when we have a new arc like we have now, Q Continuum Part 2. And today I want to talk about one thing that is new to the game, and that is one of the two new types of armadas. Yesterday I talked about the new Borg Type 03 solo armadas, and today I want to talk about the Borg Polygon Armadas, which are group armadas. And the systems are the same. This is Viridian that you already know, and in the systems later on here you will find those armadas. I said it yesterday already, the Armada videos are a bit complicated right now because we are at war since yesterday, because another alliance thought that it's good always to provoke people to try to fabricate road breaches and stuff like that. And so in the end our leadership had enough. I just can lean back. I'm not part of that leadership because I'm working far too much that I said I will not be able to help with that. But they decided then that it's enough with all the provocations and the fabricated road breaches and especially insults that they declared war on STB. And so I have to change the way of making videos a little bit in between because I'm just only one player in this game. And when this happens, that affects everyone. We will see how long it takes until they come to their senses again. Nevertheless, I still can make the video on the Borg polygons today. I will not be able to start one, not because of the war, but because of the little amount of directives we had from the beginning, and we get to the part of how to get directives later, and that's not that easy or that often. And so I just can explain a bit about it. As I said, the Borg polygons are group armadas, and here you see a Borg polygon 1.0, and these have certain abilities. They have the defense protocol that brings the cutting beam up once again, like with the solo armada. So every round it fires its cutting beam, and that will be quite devastating to the ships that are hit, unless you have a revenant that will prevent the polygon from firing at your revenant, because the Revenant has this ability. If you join with any other ship than the Revenant in these, the cutting beam will fire on your ship, but it will not fire on Revenants. So that's why it's important to do these with Revenants, and we did a couple of those on first day. I was home late because of a council session, and so I missed a lot of those. But I could do a few later on, and could see it. My Revenant did quite well with it, even if it's only tier 1. And then the second one is Q Junior again. You have to destroy these within 20 rounds. It's a little bit like the Chimeras. You will remember that one. There's a limitation as well. And here it's the same. Not the number of rounds, but it's the same principle. You have to defeat it within 20 rounds, or you will not defeat it at all. So even if all your ships survive, if the 20 rounds are over and that thing is not destroyed, you will not have defeated the Armada. So you have to pick the level of the Armada with the people you're working with so that you can destroy it within those 20 rounds. That's a very important part here. It's another trick by Q Junior. I mean, I talked about him yesterday from the Voyager episode, where he did quite some tricks on a lot of people and brought Egypt into trouble. But he's doing tricks on us now. The rewards are Borg Polygon Group Armada credits that you can exchange in the Refinery for nice rewards. And in this case, everyone taking part in the Armada will get some of those. It's not big numbers that you get in the beginning, but there's research that you can do, get more loot. We will talk about research next week as well. And this week as well. And that's always when you film more than one video in one day, then you are really getting confused with the days, especially in a new arc week where my whole filming plan is different than usual anyway, because this video I filmed on a Thursday. Usually all my videos for STFC are filmed on a Monday, and so it really gets confusing for old people like me. Nevertheless, the loot is okay, and you can do exchanges. You do not get too many Armada directives anyway, and if we have a quick look, we will talk about the refinery in a different video as well. There's the Borg Polygon exchange. It depends, first of all, like the solo exchange, on the evolution step of your Revenant. You see here it's the Mark 1 exchange, and a little bit on your ops level as well, because you see it's a G6 Borg Polygon exchange. But there's nice stuff in here. There's next to materials, there's upgrading parts for your Revenant. There are those particles you need for the Revenant research, and there are speed ups and stuff like that. And it will get different when you upgrade your Revenant and scrap it, because you see there's also the Mark II preview here already, and that preview we will include when I do the refinery video. Nevertheless, the directives you get from here once a week. It's not so many, so this weekly thing will prevent you from doing too many of those group armadas, but at least there are some, and that's okay. But that's also the reason why I can't show you, because we had a very limited amount. We had an event where we had to do them, and so I had to spend them before I was able to make any video on that, and that's why I cannot give you a look into. But the limit to get more from the refinery is 400. When you have 400, you don't get more from the refinery, and with the solo ones it was 1500. Nevertheless, it's something that's not too complicated, because you cannot do too many of them unless you buy directives, and they just work like the normal group armadas. You need 100 of those directives to start them as usual, and it lasts 15 minutes. So you have a 15-minute countdown, and the people can join as usual. In this case, they're working completely like the normal FKR armadas or something. So there's no difference, and you can still give people stars to lock them into the Armada, depending on your calling system, etc. I made a lot of videos on Armadas already, and this one is no different from this one, except the fact that you have to defeat it within 20 rounds. That's the only big change, and that you need a Revenant to do that. You need a number of Revenants to take them down, otherwise you'll be in trouble. And like the solo Armadas I talked about yesterday, it says Borg Polygon, in this case 1.0. The Type 03 were 03.0, and those are the ones you should do if you have a Mark 1 Revenant, because Scopely says, I couldn't test it of course, because the directives were a bit too precious to waste them. If you want to do the 1.1, you need evolved Revenants. Don't do them with Mark 1 Revenants, because they are much stronger. You see, this one has 9 billion, and we can quickly use the time that my amalgam still has cloak to go over to the next system where we find the 1.1. At least there were 0.1 solo armadas, so I'm hoping that they are 0.1 group armadas, but I did see group armadas already. They are much stronger than the 0.0 versions. And we're having some bugs here again. Oh yeah, I love that. It's the very end of the video. In this case, just believe me, I've been there before, and it doesn't even let me use the NX01. That's what I was talking about recently, about the bugs in the game and everything else. So now it's working. And see if we have a polygon here. No, it's 1.0s here as well. There are 1.1s out there as well. I think it was that system. But at the moment, nothing is working anymore. It's home. That's why that one isn't working. I didn't put it outside my station. Sometimes you get so confused because things are not working. When it didn't work when the amalgam was first in the system, I completely got confused because the bugs are confusing. Especially the bookmarks and links that are not working. That drives me completely crazy at the moment, because that hinders you from a lot of stuff. Let's have a... come on. Yeah, talking about bugs. Now it doesn't even let me have a look in. So just believe me, the 0.1 are much stronger than the 0.0, and you really should wait until you have an evolved Revenant to do them. And if some people might wonder, because I sometimes see that in the comments, why I'm not editing out this part where all of this just happened. I want everybody to see the real game experience, and that includes stuff like that where I tried to use my Annex No 1 to look into a thing and it doesn't work. And the other thing you see on the top screen is that it says I have a very, very bad connection. Well, that's not my connection. I have a very good connection here and everything else is working really great. Only in the game I see that it says, you have a bad connection. No, I don't have a bad connection. They have a bad connection. And I definitely will have to restart the whole thing before I make another video. But I told you everything important already. Just that I didn't show you now the 0.1, but it's not that important, because stay away from the 0.1 until you have evolved Revenants. Then everything is fine. Stick to the 0.0s, and that's good. But they really need to work on some bugs, because, as I said, especially the one with the not working links and not working bookmarks and everything is driving me completely nuts. If you want to add something about the Borg Polygon Armadas, please write it in the comments and on Discord. And if you want to see another video now, the next one is right here in the end screen. I'll see you there. I'll be back.